President Biden just ended any chance Hunter Biden will spend time behind bars, but prosecutors still want to move forward with the case to prove Hunter was guilty and that their case against him had nothing to do with politics. Special counsel David Weiss writing the following: the government does not challenge that the defendant has been the recipient of an act of mercy. That does not mean the grand jury's decision to charge him based on a finding of probable cause should be wiped away as if it never occurred. The defendant falsely claimed that the charges were the result of some improper motive or selective prosecution. There was none and never has been any evidence of vindictive or selective prosecution. Katie Cherkasky is a constitutional law attorney, former federal prosecutor. She joins me now. Katie, what is Weiss doing here?
Well, practically speaking, he's really not doing anything because a pardon does effectively end any prosecution that Hunter Biden was facing, particularly the one that David Weiss is referring to. I think he's talking about the fact that there had been prior challenges to the prosecution, that it was a selective prosecution that were denied by the courts prior to this pardon being issued. But for all intents and purposes, that case can no longer be adjudicated. You
know what else shoots down the notion of a selective prosecution, Katie? We got to go way back to remember when David Weiss had a sweetheart plea deal for Hunter Biden, David Weiss representing the DOJ, and a judge said, whoa, you can't give blanket immunity to something where we don't even know what all the charges are. And the judge stepped in and said, no. Joe Biden, in fact, is stepping in and saying, no, I can give that blanket immunity. I'm just going to do it in the form of a pardon. So this attack of selective prosecution by Joe Biden is completely off base.
Well, it is completely off base, and I guess we have to remember that prosecutors always have discretion about what cases they bring. So in that sense, every prosecution is selective in some way. But of course, this pardon is so broad that it does essentially wipe out any potential acts, even if they were never charged against Hunter Biden. The only question is whether that is something that is constitutional. So if David Weiss did want to try to push the envelope on that and continue to pursue something against Hunter Biden, I guess that would be the only way that the courts would weigh in about the validity of this blanket pardon, which is much broader than anything we've really ever seen.
I also think Weiss is a linchpin in another way, because keep in mind, Jim Jordan said, I'm interested in bringing Weiss before Congress. So let's say Congress goes further with this. They bring in Weiss before Congress. They could also bring in, wait for it, Hunter Biden before Congress. And because there is no threat of incriminating himself, because he can't be charged with anything because of the pardon, he cannot claim the fifth. So could this all backfire on Joe and Jim and the rest of the Biden family if Hunter is forced to testify?
Well, I have heard that theory, and I think it's very interesting. And I think you're correct that he can't invoke the fifth because he couldn't incriminate himself since he doesn't face any sort of risk of prosecution. If he did, in fact, perjure himself before Congress, I guess the pardon would not cover that because it ended effectively on December 1st. And so anything after that point, he's still open to potentially being prosecuted. So certainly I think there's a lot of questions people still want to know about the finances, something that we thought we might learn if Hunter had gone to trial in the tax case. And we still don't have a lot of those answers. So I think there's still going to be an interest in looking into that.
Before we go to Daniel Penny, Hunter first, do you expect Jim Biden, the president's brother, to be pardoned next?
Well, I would not be surprised, and I also wouldn't be surprised if Joe tries to issue a pardon for himself. I mean, it's never been done before, but I think there's been a lot of smoke out there about all of the dealings, and they think that Trump is going to weaponize the Justice Department. So I guess we'll see what happens before he leaves office.
Yeah, we are just getting started on all this pardon stuff. It's going to be wild the next couple of weeks. Now let's go to Daniel Penny. Closing arguments set to resume today in the Daniel Penny trial. Defense highlighting Penny's character, saying, quote, Danny acted when others didn't. He put his life on the line. He did that for perfect strangers. Prosecutors criticizing the length and force of the chokehold. That seems to be their main argument, saying, quote, we are here today because the defendant used way too much force for way too long in way too reckless of a manner. We as a society cannot tolerate the unjustifiable death of a fellow citizen. Let's go to the last chapter of this book. Do you expect a verdict today, and what do you expect that verdict to be?
There's reasonable doubt all over the place in this case, and I would expect and hope that he would be fully acquitted.
Yeah, it just seems everybody can make an argument that, hey, maybe the chokehold was a little too long, but you also don't know under these circumstances. And I thought the defense pointed out something really interesting with regard to that argument that the chokehold was too long. The only reason we have video of the chokehold is because the people on the train were too scared to take out their phones prior to that. It only was when Daniel Penny had Neely in that chokehold that they felt comfortable, that they felt like they weren't under attack anymore. And I thought that was such an interesting argument. Final word to you, Katie.
Yeah, absolutely. And maybe it was, but maybe it's not proof beyond a reasonable doubt. It has to be that no reasonable person would agree with what Daniel Penny did. And we know just from the direct witnesses there that that's just not the case. And he should very well be acquitted. We
will be watching. Katie Cherkasky, thank you as always for your time. Really interesting insight on all these topics.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.